So, anyways, and she's calling on Americans and calling on Canadians and calling on other tribes to come and get involved. Madam, don't buy market too. I know exactly what you're doing, but this is your cross. Carry it well. Look. So there's something else that she posted. On this one, she says, I'm super happy. God is great. Never ignore red flags. When women were coming out on the internet warning me that Linc had tried to use them to come to America/Canada, he had a story for all. A gigolo will always be a gigolo, even if he came from a reputable family. Of course, he never loved me, but wanted to use me to come here. We wait for the next woman who tries to use. That's how she wrote this here. I guess she's trying to say we wait for the next woman she tries to use. So she goes on to say he has a case with immigration. He can never travel outside again. So Cow Nation should find him a wife. I told him I will sign a prenuptial agreement. Now, because she has lost, now that Linc does not want her anymore, she's now trying to tie Linc to Main Nation. I don't think Main Nation cares about Linc one way or another. Main Nation has pretty much washed their hands off of Linc when Linc came out defending this crazy woman and saying all the nonsense that he was saying. But yeah, this is what she's trying to do. She's trying to put this on Main Nation. This has nothing to do with Main Nation. This is about you and your poor judgment. All of a sudden, you've now realized that he's a gigolo. Eh? You didn't even make him work hard for that gigoloism self. You made it so easy. You made it so easy for him. The man, before you even open mouth and say, can I ask you for something? You don't already, now that can I win in day, you don't already open your purse, say, how much you need, darling? I'll give you. You were trying to prove to him that you were loaded, that you have money, that money is not a problem. That was all. It was all self-serving. Madam, you had a motive, you had an agenda, you had a reason for basically showering this man with money, showering this man with gifts, traveling within a few months. You've been to Nigeria. Every other month, you were in Nigeria to go collect Bola because you were basically marking your territory. You had already researched how to like get green card. You had already researched which one is quicker, whether to do fiance visa or to marry in Nigeria, to the point where, according to you, you were told that it'll be faster if you apply for the fiance visa as opposed to marrying him and having him wait. Now he tell you now, say he needs you out of social media for 3 years, because as you they calculate, he himself was already calculating that this crazy woman, if she can just remove herself from social media and not even mention my name for 3 years, 3 years is enough time for me to get my American paper sorted. He knew exactly what he was doing. Both of you knew exactly what you were doing. You cannot turn around now that you did not get what you were hoping to get. I don't know if it was loneliness that drove you to the point where you were basically, practically buying this man's love. Because that's all, based on everything that Madam Yinka has said, that is all I see. Like, she was practically buying Linc Edochie's love. She was buying his love, trying to convince him, in my opinion, that he would be better off being with her, that money was no object, that she was capable of taking care of his financial needs. So this is something else that she posted here. So she says, Cow Nation, Mumu group of people, they compare Yul Edochie to his brother Linc. Judy Austin is enjoying her man. How do you know? She's so thirsty. She's so desperate for the attention of Yul Edochie and Judy Austin. And it's actually very pathetic. It is sad. Very, very sad. She's always tagging Juju Austin. She's always tagging Yul Edochie in her post, trying to clamor support, trying to get them to like maybe respond. Those ones have not responded, not even once. They've not even acknowledged that somebody like her exists. Very sure that Yul and Juju are watching everything play out on social media, and they are seeing how unstable Madam Yinka is, and they know that they do not want the smoke. They don't want anything to do with this woman. And that's what you see when you see how she keep tagging them and they don't ever respond. They don't ever acknowledge her. Do you get? So yeah. Anyway, so this is what she posted. She said, Cow Nation Mumu group of people, they compare Yul Edochie to his brother Linc. Juju Austin is enjoying her man. You took care of his family and Una Queen. I took care of Linc. Linc and I would have been married at the Ikoyi registry in May. I was the one who did my research and found it is faster to file a fiancé visa than a visa to come to the United States. That is why we are not married today. Why is she crying? So she's repeating the question that people are asking. In quotation, she says, why is she crying? Bola bola, unamumu too much. Stay tuned. Lots more coming here. It is Linc you will destroy, not me. Madam, you've already destroyed yourself, okay? The people that you are targeting, the so-called main nation that you are always calling on, they don't care about Linc. So whether Linc get destroyed in the process of them trying to take you down for unprovokingly going after May, that's what they're gonna do. Linc can be collateral damage. It doesn't concern them. So you thinking that whatever comes from what you're doing now is going to, they're gonna feel bad as it is going to impact Linc. You not get sense. That's something that is so surprising to me. At this woman's big age, she doesn't have sense. It is amazing. It really is amazing, honestly. So continuing, she says, and stay tuned, lots more coming here. It is Linc you will destroy, not me, but you are already destroying yourself. Anybody type your name and all this nonsense will come out, unless, of course, you now want to focus on doing content, being a blogger. You don't want to pursue any other career again in your so-called field of being like a medical personnel or whatever, a healthcare professional. Because anytime, if any future employer, they do their research, they're going to see all of this coming out under your name. So saying that it's Linc that is going to be destroyed in the process is really, really disingenuous because you're going to be destroyed as well. Okay, if it comes to that. So continuing, she says, all the men that were asking me out are in my inbox, scolding me that they would have never done that to me. Well, I guess if there were really men in your inbox, why are you moaning and groaning then? Why can't you just move on to any of those men that are in your inbox? If there are any suitor, because you are such a prize, oh my gosh, why would they be in your inbox when they've already realized that, you they drop money? They don't even need to ask you before you start giving them money, paying their children's school fees and buying them the latest gadget. Of course they'll be in your inbox now, madam. Oh my gosh, she doesn't think these things true before posting them. Of course, all the men that are in your inbox who have heard you talk about how you practically inherited all of Linc Edochie's financial responsibility to the point where you were even paying his children's school fees. Of course, they are in your inbox. Of course, they want a piece of that cake. And by cake, I don't mean your nyash. I mean your purse. Of course, they are in your inbox. What part of that don't you understand? It is not a flex to say, all these men are in my inbox. It is not a flex. So, not giving everything that you have said, not giving how you have exposed yourself as basically a sugar mommy who buys people's love. So, yeah, okay. But anyways, let me keep reading. They are in her inbox. Where was that? Where was I? Since una want gist, say stay tuned for more. Since una want gist, continue to compare my case with your queen, who AZDK took care of. Una no get sense at all. Mumu Nation. And then she went on to talk about her hair. So yeah, that's where we are with this woman. Oh. Very embarrassing stuff. Pa Peter Doche don't collect the insult, the disrespect on account of his son, his gigolo son. These two people are bad people and they deserve everything that they are doing to each other. Linc is not a good person, just like Yinka is not a good person. Yinka is a desperado. She wants a man and she was willing to do anything. And the icing on the cake was that the man that she eventually found was from the Edochie stock. And to her, she felt like, wow, I found a name brand man, not knowing that, hey, Not be good cow, they come from Uzebu. An Edo person will understand this. And that's how she found herself in this situation. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you later.